A rodeo cowboy who was caught abusing animals earlier this year has escaped formal punishment, a decision animal welfare activists say is ludicrous. In January this year, Checkpoint broke the story of a man shocking young calves with an electric prodder at a rodeo in Northland. The footage we put up was viewed hundreds of thousands of times online, prompted a government investigation and led to businesses withdrawing their sponsorship. But after viewing the footage, the Ministry for Primary Industries has opted for a warning. Here's Zach Fleming with more.
Armed with an electric prodder, the man looks side to side as if he's checking whether anyone's watching. He then shocks a young calf, which was patiently waiting in a chute to be roped. Shocking calves is against the law.
Right before being traumatised during calf roping, they're being traumatised in the chutes.
Lynn Charlton, she filmed the shocking in January at the Mid-Northern Rodeo just outside of Whangarei. After a 4-month investigation, the Ministry for Primary Industries has formally warned the man, but chosen not to prosecute.
He goes on notice or on record that he's an offender. And usually what that does, that's enough to generate what you're trying to achieve, which is for him not to do it again.
Chris Rodwell, MPI's Animal Welfare Compliance Manager. He says important factors were that the man is elderly, has no criminal history, and shocking young calves is on the, quote, low end of offending. But the man's been involved in rodeos for 35 years. Checkpoint asked Mr Rodwell if MPI had considered prosecuting to send a message.
Yes, you need to make a point, and animal welfare is always our top priority, but bear in mind that the level of the penalty has got to be appropriate for the level of offending, and we believe in this case it was.
Checkpoint's asked to speak to the man in the footage. He's yet to respond. Ms Charlton says a formal warning isn't good enough.
It's what we expected, really. MPI are pretty gutless, to be honest, when it comes to dealing with the rodeo community. They seem to take this very softly approach, and there's always an excuse for why people are not getting consequences for animal abuse.
At the time, Rodeo Cowboys Association President Marty Deans denied the man shocked young calves.
And what I can see, I do not see that animal getting an electric zap.
So he just had an electric prodder in his hand, moved his hand with the electric prodder in it near the calf, but didn't actually use it, as far as you're concerned?
As far as I'm concerned, he didn't.
Sponsors disagreed. After being shown the calf being shocked, along with other footage, national companies including LJ Hooker, Ray White, Harcourts, Placemakers and Meridian Energy withdrew their sponsorship across New Zealand and vowed not to sponsor any in the future. Today, spokesperson for the Rodeo Cowboys Association, Michael Laws, says a mistake was made, but lessons have been learned.
It's good that there's been an investigation and good that there's been an outcome, and it's good that people need to be reminded of what the code is.
When you say lessons learned, did he not know that that was against the code? I mean, he's been involved in rodeos for 35 years.
No, he didn't. My understanding is, and that's probably why there was quite a leniency shown, was because he thought that those calves were of age.
Animal welfare group SAFE's campaign director, Mandy Carter, says it's good the man was warned, but warnings aren't enough.
He abused them. He gave these calves an electric shock, which would have been extremely painful, purely because he could goad them so that when they got out into the arena, they would run even faster. And if he's been involved in rodeo for 35 years, he really should know better. And if he doesn't, it's the Rodeo Association's fault.
SAFE wants rodeos banned, as does the SPCA. The organisations say rodeos are cruel and subject animals to extreme fear, stress and anxiety. MPI says the recent rodeo season went well. This was the only formal warning issued.
In the code, it's mandated that they have to have an animal welfare officer in attendance and a veterinarian. We are seeing relatively minor issues in terms of animal welfare.
Lynn Charlton says she'll be at rodeos next season too, camera in tow. For Checkpoint, Zach Fleming.